Drop a like on the video in the next 5 seconds, or you'll never win a game of Warzone again. In today's video, I got you guys the top 8 meta loadouts to use in Warzone Season 4 after all the most recent buffs and nerfs. Before we do get into the gameplay, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that is in the Noti gang. If you guys leave your name on the screen tomorrow's video, man, go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe with all notifications on, and once you are done, comment down below Noti gang. It is hard to see everyone's name, man, so make sure you guys go comment down below Noti gang a few times so I definitely do see your name. All right, so starting off at number 8, man, definitely got to give us the M13. It would be higher, but unfortunately M13 is pretty much only good in close to mid-range. It's not going to be good at long range like say the Kilo, NZ, or something like the Bar. The M13 is pretty much only for close to mid-range. All right, so starting off with the muzzle, man, definitely want to throw in the mono. It gives you sound suppression and damage range. Easily the best muzzle on pretty much any Modern Warfare weapon in the entire game. Definitely throw in the mono. Then for the barrel, go with Tempest Marksman. It's going to give you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. It gives you the most recoil control and bullet velocity out of any of the barrels. Marksman is easily the only barrel that you should be even considering running. All right, and for the optic, man, it's really up to you. I don't like running a VOK because, again, M13 is not good at range, so I really don't see a point in running VOK. Either go with the Core Palo or the PBX. I personally prefer the PBX with the blue dot because the PBX has a little bit more room in the sight, but it's up to you. I personally like the PBX. Then for the magazine, 50 round, it's going to give you more recoil control, more mobility, no brainer, definitely better than 60. And then for the underbarrel, man, you really don't need that much recoil control on M13. M13 pretty much has no recoil even when you are running a grip. So Commando 4 grip should be plenty enough. It's going to give you recoil, stabilization, and aim and stability. And then here's the full M13 build, man. I wish it was higher up in the rankings. It's just not good long range. I personally like my ARs to be good long range, but M13 is definitely still a very good pick. And then for the number 7 slot, definitely got to give it to the Armaguerra, man. It's not the best SMG in the entire game by any means, man, but it is definitely a very good meta SMG, definitely in the meta for sure in Season 4. All right, so number 1 for the muzzle, man, a recoil boost is going to increase your gun's fire rate, and no brainer. Increased fire rate, you do lose accuracy, but it's definitely worth the payoff of getting a ton of fire rate. And then for the barrel, man, go with the short barrel. It's going to increase your ADS speed, your aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire speed. Easily the best barrel on the Armaguerra, man. It's going to increase mobility. You do lose bullet velocity, but it is definitely worth how much mobility you do get full running the short barrel. And for the optic, all personal preference. I don't like running iron sights. I like the clear picture of the red dot. You can run iron sight, but I personally do like the slate reflector over the iron sight. And then for the stock, go with the skeleton. You're going to get aim walking movement speed, ADS speed, and initial fire recoil. It's pretty much like the equivalent to the Raider stock on the colder weapons, especially you don't get sprint to fire time. You do get a ton of aim walking movement speed and ADS speed, so definitely worth the payoff. And then for the underbarrel, go the compact for even more aim walking movement speed, and you get a little bit of reduced scope, sway, and gun bias. It's going to help you with that recoil control and accuracy. So very good. Go with the compacts. For the magazine, go with the Curves. Really only option here. You get bullet velocity, range, damage, and bullet penetration. Easily the best magazine. Ammunition, go with hollow point. I usually run length of man, but for some reason on the Armaguerra, I feel like it does need that extra limb damage, man. It's not going to shred off rip if you don't have hollow point, so I was rocking hollow point. And then for the rear grip, man, go with the Grooves grip for even more ADS fire movement speed, and you do get a little bit of horizontal recoil control, man. You do lose sprint to fire speed, but we do have the barrel that gives us a ton of sprint to fire speed and ADS speed, so it's really not too much of a loss. And then for the perk one, I like rocking the steady attachment for even more ADS fire movement speed. It's pretty much maxed out on fire and movement speed, so when you're aiming, you're going to be flying around. So very good. Definitely go with steady. And then perk 2, obvious choice here, man. Only option here is quick 40 sprint speed, man. We are not running an AR, so we're not going to run like something like on hand for the ADS speed. We really don't need it. We got a ton of ADS speed on the barrel, so we just go with quick 40 sprint speed. And then for the number 6 slot, man, definitely got to give us an MP40, man. It did get hit with a few nerfs, man, and very unfortunate, but it is still a very good gun in Season 4, man. And definitely one of those top meta picks. All right, so number 1 for the muzzle, man, it gonna rock the recoil booster. It's gonna increase your fire rate, increase the gun CTK, very good for increasing damage. And then for the barrel, short barrel, it's going to increase damage range, bullet velocity, and limb damage. All the other barrels are pretty garbage on MP40, especially like the cross. Like you're going to lose bullet velocity and damage range, so definitely go with the short. And then for the optic, on the MP40, I actually like rocking the iron sight, man. You know, the other guns, I really don't like it, but on the MP40 in particular, man, I really do prefer the iron sights over the red dot, so I was rocking the ISO 1M. And then for the stock, man, go with the folding stock. It's going to give you sprint to fire speed and a movement speed. You do lose initial fire recoil, but it's really not that bad. bad. We can get it back by running something like brace, man, so definitely go with folding. And then underbarrel, I like rocking the skeletal for the ADS speed and movement speed. It used to actually only give you ADS speed, but they did hit it with a pretty big buff when they dropped Fortune's Keep, man, and now it does give you movement speed alongside ADS speed, so very, very good. Go with the skeletal. And then for the magazine, man, a 7.62 Gorenko 45 round. You get recoil control, movement speed, ADS speed, and fire rate. You do lose damage, but it is really, really important with how much recoil control and movement speed you do get alongside fire rate. So definitely go with the Gorenko. Ammunition, I actually like rocking LinkedIn on the MP40, man. It's going to increase your bullet velocity. Bullet velocity is how fast your bullet travels in the air, man. The faster the bullet travels, the faster they die. No brainer, definitely go with LinkedIn. And then for the rear grip, I actually like rocking the taped grip, man. It did get a huge buff for when they drop Fortune's Keep. You get aim stability, and movement speed, a weapon swap quickness, and sprint to fire speed. All really, really important stats on a close range gun like an SMG, man. So definitely go with taped. And then perk 1, we are going to rock brace, so we get back that initial fire recoil that we do lose from rocking the folding stock, man. And there really is no other good perk 1 anyway, man, so brace is definitely our best option. Perk 2, go with quick. Even if you are more of a passive player, quick is going to save you more often than not, man. It's going to help you run away, you know, get away from gunfights, re-engage. There really is no other good perk either, so definitely throwing quick. And then here's the full MP40 build, man. I wish the MP40 was higher on the list personally, man. MP40 is one of my favorite guns alongside the OTS. Very, very good gun. I've always loved the MP40, man. Shame they did nerf it so many times, man, but definitely still a meta pick in season 4. And then number 5, gotta give it to the NZ, man. I did try it. It's definitely nowhere where it used to be. They did nerf it like, I think it was 4 or 5 times. They nerfed the NZ a crazy amount. It's not the worst they are in the entire game now, but it's definitely nowhere near the best they are in the entire game now, so I would definitely give it a top 5 spot at maximum. Number 1 for the muzzle, man, definitely MX silencer. It's going to give you sound suppression, horizontal recoil control, vertical recoil control, and damage range. You do lose ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, but really not important. Definitely go to MX silencer. And then for the barrel, I like rocking the Orb Weaver 360 millimeter. I see some people running the burst barrel, man, but I'm pretty sure they did nerf it. I think it was two times. I think they did nerf it, man. It used to be the best barrel, but definitely after the nerf of the burst barrel, the 360 millimeter is going to be your best bet. And then for the optic, man, go with the PU scope. It's going to offer you more recoil control than the G16. The only thing I don't like about the PU scope is, man, sometimes when I'm in a gunfight, I'll accidentally zoom into 6 times, man. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Other than that, it is very good. So yeah, definitely go to PU scope. Easily the best optic on the NZ. Then for the stock, man, I like rocking the E-Pack. It's going to give you the most recoil control out of any other stock on the NZ in particular, man. Recoil control, recoil recovery, accuracy, and flinch resistance. And then for the underbarrel, man, I actually like rocking the strife angle. It's going to give you a ton of horizontal recoil control. Horizontal recoil control you actually can't control, man, so you want as much horizontal as possible. So definitely strife angled. And then for the magazine, go with the Secura 50 round for the recoil control, accuracy, fire rate, and the movement speed. I did try 40 round, man, but it's not enough ammo at all. I was running out of ammo pretty much after every single gunfight. The NZ is a pretty quick shooting weapon, man, so just go with a 50 Secura. And then for the ammunition, man, you want to go with LinkedIn, especially on ARs, long range guns. You want as much bullet velocity as possible on the man. Very important. Definitely go with LinkedIn. And then for the rear grip, man, I like going hatch grip. It used to be pretty bad, but they did hit it with a pretty big buff when they did drop Fortune's Keep, man. It gives you vertical recoil control, horizontal recoil control, and flinch resistance. Perk 1, I like rocking brace for the initial fire recoil. There really is no other option here, man. Maybe something like pinned. Pinned would be your only other option on a AR, but I personally like rocking brace for the initial fire recoil. And then perk 2, throwing on hand, it did get buffed for the ADS speed, equipment dexterity, and you get a little bit of recoil control. And then here's the full NZ build, man. It used to be crazy. It's not terrible now. Definitely still a top meta AR, but they did hit it with too many nerfs to be the best AR in the entire game now, man. But definitely a top 5 spot. And the number 4, definitely got to give it to the Marco. It did get hit with a huge nerf, so it's not the top SMG in the entire game, man, but it is still definitely a top meta SMG, so I am giving it the number 4 spot. The number 1 for the muzzle, man, I actually like rocking the Mercury on the Marco in particular, man. It's going to give you bullet velocity, horizontal recoil control, and it's going to keep you off the radar. And then for the barrel, go with the Emerito at 342 millimeter for the highly accurate and controllable bullet velocity, flinch resistance, and reduced scopes away and gun bobs. Going to give you a ton of recoil control, and definitely a top barrel pick. And then for the optic, I don't like the iron sights on the Marco in particular, so I like rocking the slate reflector for the clear picture. And And then for the stock, I go with the Emerito FR for the initial fire recoil recovery, ADS speed, and movement speed, man. Definitely the best stock on the Marco. And then for the underbarrel on the Marco, man, there is a few options you can go with. You can either go with the Carver, you can go with the Skeletal, or you can go with the M19 hand stop. I like the Carver, man. It's going to give you vertical recoil control, and it's going to give you hip fire accuracy, man. Hip fire accuracy is very good. It's going to help you center your gun, help you aim better. So I personally like going the Carver. And then for the magazine, man, the 8mm Nabu 64 round, definitely the best magazine. You need that extra ammo, man. The Marco does shoot pretty quick. So definitely go with that 8mm Nabu. And then for the ammunition, I actually like rocking hollow point on the Marco in particular, man. I feel like it does not have enough limb damage off rip, so I do like rocking a hollow point to get that limb damage up, man. It definitely helps the gun out by a ton. And then for the rear grip, I like rocking tape grip. Again, it's going to be a trend on the Vanguard weapons, man. They did get a huge buff when they dropped Fortune's Keep, man. You get aiming stability, and movement speed, a weapon swap quickness, and a sprint to fire speed. And then for the perk 1, man, you have two options. You can either go with momentum or frenzy. I personally like rocking momentum, man. You can kill somebody in their squad, and if there's like 3 of them chasing you can get away. It's going to give you movement speed after you kill somebody. But if you go with frenzy, you're going to regen your health after you kill somebody. So it's really up to you. I personally like momentum so I can get away after I kill somebody in a squad. And then for the perk 2, only option here is quick. You're gonna get sprint speed. All the other ones are pretty bad, so definitely throwing quick. And then there's the full Marco 5 build, man. It's definitely, I would say, top 2 SMG, top 3 minimum in the entire game now, man. It's definitely not number 1, but definitely still a very good meta weapon, especially on Rebirth, man. Very close quarters, but definitely a top 3 minimum. And then number 3 slot, man, gotta give it to the car. Normally I wouldn't even put it on this list, man, after the huge nerf that they did to all the snipers, man, but they actually hit the car 98 with a much needed buff. I think it was like 2 days ago, man. So definitely a top 3 gun now, and very good, especially on Rebirth close quarters. I was killing people in like 1 headshot pretty much every time. The number 1, the fully muzzle, man, and definitely want to go with the mono. It's going to keep you off the radar, add damage range, much needed damage range. I believe you don't even one shot if you don't have the mono on, so mono is easily the most important one. If you are going to go for one, definitely throw on the mono. And then for the barrel, I like rocking the 25.1. You can rock the 27.6. You get a little bit more recoil control and damage range, but you do lose out on quite a bit of ADS speed. So I like going with the 25.1 over the 27.6 for that reason. And then for the laser, man, obvious here, tac laser, you get ADS speed, aim stability, and aim walking steadiness. Adds quite a bit of recoil control to the Car 98. Quite a bit of much needed recoil control. So definitely go with that tac laser. And then the 40 perk, man, sleight of hand, you are gonna need sleight of hand, man. Even if you do have sleight of hand, it's gonna take forever to reload the car, just because like it reloads, it puts in 1 bullet at a time. So if you don't have sleight of hand, it's gonna take literally like 30 seconds to reload the gun. So sleight of hand is a must have on the car. And then for the optic, man, only choice here is the sniper scope. And then if you have the blue dot reticle, definitely throw it on, man. I wish I had the blue dot reticle, and unfortunately I don't. So I have to rock the best next thing I have, which is the cross thread reticle with the sniper scope. And then here's the best car build, man. Like I said, much needed buff that I did get in the most recent path. I think it was like 1 day ago, 2 days ago, something like that, man. But it was much needed. It was not even killing up to the head, like 5-10 yards away. But now I was headshotting, I was using the bit, I was headshotting like 15-20 yards away, man. So definitely still very good. It definitely meta. And the number 2, gotta give it to everyone's favorite gun, man, the Kilo. I did love when this gun was meta, man. And it is meta again because they did hit it with a pretty huge buff in the most recent patch, man. Very fun gun to use. It's pretty much like a faster firing M13, a better version of the M13 at that, man. So definitely a meta top 2. For the muzzle, go with a mono suppressor for the sound suppression and damage range. And then for the optic, I like rocking the PBX hollow with the blue dot reticle. And then for the magazine, 50 round over 60, you're going to get more recoil control, you're going to get more mobility, and the Kilo is not a crazy fast shooting gun either, so you're not really going to run out of ammo. So I like going to 50 over the 60. And then for the underbarrel, go with commando foregrip for the recoil stabilization and aim and stability. And then for the barrel, only one we can rock is the Prowler barrel. It's going to give you damage range and bullet velocity and recoil control. It's pretty much just a better version of the SOCOM barrel, so definitely go with the Prowler barrel. And then here's the full Kilo build, man. Definitely definitely a top 2 loadout in the entire game now, man, after they did buff it. Very, very fun to use too, so that's another good sign, man. It is even better on rebirth, close range quarters. Does shred. I was killing like NZs, Car 98s. Very, very good. Definitely top 2. And then here's a gun you guys probably were not expecting to be number 1, man. The Cold War MP5. It was good before they buffed it, but they did hit it with a massive buff in the most recent patch, making it even better, man. I was absolutely frying kids with it. Very good SMG. I would say it is definitely the best gun in the entire game right now. Number 1 for the muzzle, go the agency suppressor for the sound suppression, vertical recoil control, blow velocity, and effective damage range. And then for the laser, go the Tiger Team for the aim walking movement speed and movement speed. Very good. Adds a ton of movement speed to the gun, man. Invaluable. Definitely throwing the Tiger Team. And then for the stock, I was rocking no stock for the movement speed and sprint to fire time. You actually do get movement speed, doesn't say you do. You definitely do get movement speed for the no stock, so I was rocking no stock. Underbarrel, I was rocking the patrol grip for the sprinting movement speed. It actually gives you the most movement speed out of any underbarrel in the entire game. It actually even gives you more than bruiser, so very good. Definitely throwing the patrol. And for the magazine, only option here is a 50 round. The other ones are pretty bad. 40 round, maybe solos you can get away with a 40 round, maybe duos, but anything like trios or quads, definitely go to 50. And then here's the full MP5 build, man. Try it out. It absolutely shreds. You're gonna have a ton of movement speed, good accuracy, good fire rate, good TTK, good mag size. Very good. In my opinion, it is the best SMG, best gun in the entire game right now, man. Try it out. You definitely will not be disappointed. But hey, man, those are the top 8 meta loadouts in Warzone Season 4 Reloaded, man. Hope you guys did enjoy the class of this, man. Hope you guys pick up some wins and kills, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. I'll catch you guys next one. Peace.